Hello, hello, everybody. How we doing?
Morning, friends.
Joe here.
And Kevin.
Yeah. Okay. So this season of Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, I'm so intrigued by it. Every episode is kind of like a mystery being unraveled. Joel, he's in prison in the '80s apparently.
Right.
Want to see what happens there because I did not see that coming at all.
Sure. I'm sure it has something to do with getting Midge out of the mob situation.
We talked about that. Just didn't really expect this dark underbelly to this final season of this like comedy show.
Yeah. I like it.
I like it too. It's just really surprising.
Yeah, I love the fact that we're admitting that there is a really dark side to this path that everybody's choosing.
Yeah.
There's going to be a cost. It's going to be a cost for Susie. It's going to be a cost for Midge. It clearly is a cost for Joel.
Yeah.
It's a cost for Midge's kids. What she's doing isn't easy, and it's not easy on anybody.
No, not at all. And I'm very curious to see when we are going to see Susie in the '80s because we haven't seen her yet,
or at least get an explanation of why. We may never see her in the '80s.
Well, we saw a clip of them when they did the 60 Minutes interview. We saw a clip of Midge and Susie,
right? But
not her specifically. So
sure.
I wonder if we will. If we don't,
might. Right.
That also works. But we have 4 episodes left, so we'll see what happens. I guess. The last episode, I really did enjoy it. It's kind of funny how we started off with Joel obviously being a felon,
right?
Then Midge almost becoming a felon with the piracy,
right?
Or not piracy, but she threw her wallet off the ship, and then I guess that makes her a pirate technically, which is kind of funny to think.
Yeah, that was goofy. Obviously, that's not going to go anywhere.
No,
like,
not at all.
Legally, right?
It's just kind of a fun bit.
No, it was a bit for sure. And I don't know what's going to happen with Gordon and Midge. I don't think romantically there's going to be a thing. There may be. I don't feel like there will, but I'm kind of wondering professionally because remember Midge is at this step now where she's a comedy writer.
Yeah.
And part-time stand-up comic in small local clubs.
Sure.
How she becomes, a superstar, 20 years after this.
I think something that show is going to blow up because you also have George.
Right. Who's on his way out.
He is, but he's also a little vindictive now. He's mad about the whole yacht party that got kind of blown up a little bit.
But he can't do anything about it.
Can't do anything.
I mean,
But I don't think we're done with him, though. The way
no, we're not.
When his character exited the last scene, I just feel like he's going to come back and try to do something.
Maybe, or he's going to get himself fired, and Mike's going to take over.
I'd be cool with that too. Right, I think Mike's on his way in anyway. So
yeah, I don't think George has strong enough footing right now.
No.
to do anything vindictive. He can't fire Midge. He demanded that she be fired last episode, and Gordon laughed at him and told him, yeah, exactly. But
nobody likes George.
Nobody likes George. Mike was just like, I'm so friggin' happy I'm here right now to watch this. So yeah, George is pretty impotent when it comes to his power.
Just curious that they keep focusing on him. You know what I mean?
Sure. I just think that maybe like the fact that Midge can't get on the show, maybe it's a George rule. Sure. That maybe once George is gone, Mike is like, you know what? Maybe we should loosen the reins on this a little bit. I mean, I don't know. There could be any number of things, but I would be really surprised if George is around working at Gordon's show much longer.
I would also be very surprised if she doesn't end up on this show because we made a big enough deal about it now to where she's definitely going to be on the show.
I would think so. Yeah. Or she just quits and goes off and does her own thing.
Sure.
But obviously, this show's not the end of where we go with Midge.
No.
We do want to go ahead and welcome Stephen Dom, Dylan Hartz, Rebel Pilot, and Jordan Chance to our Patreon group. Thanks so much, guys. We're really happy here with us.
Yes, we are. And if you guys are watching us on YouTube for the first time, welcome to our channel. If you don't mind hitting the like button for us, leave us a comment down below, and please hit the subscribe button so you can stay up to date on the new content we have coming your way.
If you'd like to see a full-length reaction to this and everything else we've watched or watching, please check out a link in the description below to our Patreon page. On all of our shows, including The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, we're at least 4 episodes ahead, which means by the time you're seeing this on YouTube, we've probably wrapped up the show and are moving on. So if you want to finish out with us, that's the place to do it. You will have to sync and watch along on Patreon on your own device or streaming service. You will only see us for copyright purposes, so you will have to watch along on your own Amazon.
Yes.
To see it. For those of you who are kind of curious what we're doing next, we've kind of gone back and forth on that.
Yeah.
One show that is new to streaming that's obviously not new, that we've considered replacing the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel with is Northern Exposure, which is a show that I know was popular when I was tiny, and I've never seen a single minute or episode of it.
I've never heard of it.
I'm not even 100% sure what the genre is on it. I don't know if it's comedy or a drama or a dramedy. I just know that it was really, really big when I was tiny, and I read that it was finally released available for streaming,
Sure.
For the first time ever. So that I don't know if that's anything people like or would be interested in. So let us know. All right.
My face is on billboards. You break up with a normal person, maybe you can't go back to your favorite restaurant. You break up with me, you can't use the highway.
That's funny.
That's good. Yeah.
That'd be a great t-shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, 90?
Moving forward.
Wow. Okay, yeah, so all bets are off then.
Yeah.
I didn't think we'd go to the 90s.
I didn't either. I thought like 86 or whatever it was kind of the end. Do you think this is for Midge or for Susie that they're talking about?
I'm thinking Midge, right? I mean, oh no, Susie.
Oh, Susie. Yeah.
Oh, it's Sean Gunn.
It is Susie.
Yeah.
It's a roast. Yeah.
Hey,
she always wanted to be in the Friars Club.
That's awesome.
That was a great reveal, wasn't it?
Cool. I'm trying to think who was big in the 90s as far as comics go.
Yeah.
Who can you work in here? Norm?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, Jeff Ross would be here.
Oh, Rickles. Rickles was around the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Now, you all know me and wish you were me. I'm Stuart Jones, your unwilling MC for this evening.
He is Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah.
So we negotiated with her, and if you've never done that before, I highly don't recommend it. Her big break came when she discovered the comedian whose name we shall not utter tonight.
Yeah.
The day of the legendary Triple Crown.
Oh, cool. This is cool.
We'll go back to the 70s, too. Wow.
No way. I like the Dodgers. I got them for the pennant and the series. Hey, Saul, what do you think?
To this day, no one knows what she said to him. Whatever she said.
The pictures are go.
What?
Close the deal by the end of day. Susie will give you the terms. Whatever you need.
But Saul.
Just make it happen.
Oh, I wish I heard that conversation. Yeah.
I can't believe they have her involved with the French Connection.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Hey there. Congrats on the shiny new job.
Thank you, Susie.
Like a showbiz.
Well, she is mobbed up, so
Yeah.
that could be it.
Great pairing. What's the premise?
Get this.
Get this. There was no premise. So what did she do on the fly? She creates That's Our Time. He picks it up on the spot.
Wow.
And here's the thing. Those stars she mentioned, they weren't even her clients. Not until they found out about the sitcom she created and got greenlit for them to star in.
Oh, my God.
That's pretty genius.
Yeah.
Their names.
And just like that, she breaks Tim Rice and Andrew Lloyd Webber. And what does the world get?
Jesus Christ Superstar? Yeah. That's awesome.
Addictiveness, the profane bile that spews from her mouth like Satan's lava. Then on the bad side.
You want another drink?
You're paying.
2 more.
I want it in on Dr. Strangelove. Harry tells me they're giving it to George C. Scott.
Spoiler alert, they did.
Yes.
You're not.
Bypassing his own associates in the doing. I was one of those associates.
I liked this story, so you made it about you.
Hey, have you learned to play golf yet?
I'm not learning to play golf.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Golf with them, beat someone with them, I don't care. You're taking my clubs.
This is really sad.
Yeah, it is.
I'm signing some clients over to you. The big ones who stayed. Jerry, Mel, Peter, Lucy.
Harry, no.
That was really nice of her. I mean, of him. Sorry.
Well, that's nice of her to be in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
After we put them through the first and second season, I'm glad that they're okay.
And you know what I mean. The boys, huh? And where there's the boys, there's Susie begging them to let her keep her pinky finger one more day.
So it's still a thing, yeah.
But I'll make you a deal, okay? From here on, I get prior approval over any guy you date.
Stop it, it hurts to smile.
We're friends with Susie Myerson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, all. Hello, Susie. I still owe you that lunch, don't I?
I'll take the cash equivalent.
Oh, yeah. I know this story.
I do too. Okay, but I'm telling it. Mike was the talent booker. He and Susie started getting all buddy-buddy.
This is great.
Like, yeah. It's like it's like an exposition show.
Yeah.
Like really well done.
But it's like I like how it's non-linear.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
I don't believe we've met.
We've definitely met.
Have we?
Only like half a dozen times.
Good to see you.
Yeah, I would hate that too.
Why does he have rubber gloves?
I don't know. Maybe to go through my stuff.
Ah,
Yeah.
these douchebags that never open letters, but they all have letter openers.
I've never used a letter opener.
I haven't either.
The gun was smoking like a 3-alarm fire, and Mikey's life was about to change.
So what was he doing?
Gordon would like you and your personal effects gone within the hour.
Oh, yeah.
Turns out George was single-handedly holding up Gordon's contract.
The ripple effects of all this.
Yeah.
It's crazy, you know?
The age makeup is amazing.
It's
here.
really good, yeah. I want to know who did it.
He just got out of the clink, right?
Yeah, he got caught up in that big FBI sweep a few years back.
Blame Susie for that, too.
Whoa.
Yeah.
He's in your office.
Well, he gets out of prison. I mean, he's out.
Yeah.
Where's what?
Your books.
My accountant has them.
Not those books. These books.
He's good.
He knew there was no fixing it, not for Susie. So what does he do? He walks straight into the lion's den.
What does he do, though? Does he, like, put his club up as collateral?
I think he puts his club up instead.
Yeah.
I've got something to offer in exchange.
Really? What?
Me.
You. Trying to picture you in a cocktail dress.
I've got a nightclub. Turns big profits. It's got lines around the block.
Chinatown, huh?
Tough market.
Because what gets him in prison.
Yeah.
Look, Joel, she's starting to make good money.
She's the mother of my kids, and I want her clear of this.
We gotta get to Frank and Nikki, I mean.
And Joel.
Yeah, big time Joel.
Yeah.
Joel's come around so far. Oh my god, I can't believe how far he's come from the first season, dude.
Yeah.
Which one's the best?
The star. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
See, what a nice guy.
Yeah. It's like, I'm Jewish.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll leave Mitch alone.
Okay. So, what happens now?
Is this why? Is this what causes the fallout between Susie and Midge? Is Susie burning Joel?
Yeah, probably.
No, he actually said Happy Hanukkah.
He took the full rap. Protected that partner of his, Archie Cleary, made sure he was okay.
Good.
Yeah.
And Midge, well, she never deserted him.
Good.
3 connecting flights and 2 B12 injections to get our next guest here, but get her here we did. Ladies and gentlemen, Susie's little sister, Susie Myerson.
Hey!
Yeah.
I'm glad Tess is still around.
Yeah.
I'm thrilled to be here. You've always been my rock, and you've always been supportive of me. Happy birthday!
That's a funny thing of her whole set right there.
And is that a ukulele?
I am so at peace. Like for the first time ever. I'm eating pineapple every day. I want to buy a house here.
Yeah. Don't we all?
Right.
The Jordan Almond budget alone could finance a Navy SEAL strike.
No.
Yes.
No.
Why? Why?
I don't love him.
You didn't love the last guy either. That didn't stop you.
That's what bugs me.
Yeah.
I am loving Philip Roth.
Such a gentleman.
I'm sorry, I'm still in love with Joel.
Joel who?
Joel Gray?
No.
Joel who?
Why would you say Joel Gray?
Because you dated Joel Gray.
You were engaged. You picking up on a pattern here? Philip is a great lover. Yeah. What about the band? The band is all set up and ready to go.
Just have to pay them off.
It's 3 Dog Night. You don't just pay off.
Oh my God.
That's insane.
We paid for the cake. Do we get our money back for the cake?
I highly doubt that Abe paid for the cake.
Right.
This has nothing to do with your career. It's your personal life, and I gotta start drawing lines, and I'm starting today. Yeah. I'm sorry, but you get yourself out of this.
I can't wait to talk about this.
Right.
It's like, there's so much happening.
And in succeeding years, 3 of Philip Roth's most loathsome characters were based directly on Susie.
You okay?
It's just really warm in here. And Hub is terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to get arrested here.
No, this is a
You have the right to
mistake.
remain silent.
It's not. Joel,
Anything you
what
say
happened?
can be used against
Read
you
the
in
letter.
a court of law. You have the right to an attorney.
I have a criminal attorney.
Because he's a criminal.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Racketeering, wire fraud, money laundering.
Jesus, that's...
Yeah, she definitely knows.
You knew I was involved with those guys. You knew Frank and Nikki.
But you told me I was free of them, and I wasn't. Not until Joel did what he did.
That's true. She did lie about that.
Who owns me? I own myself.
It's not what people tell me.
What people?
They say all these casinos you've been booking me in.
Okay, so that comes back.
Paris.
Hold on.
The Flamingo. The
Who are
Saints.
these people telling you all of this? I want names.
Why, so you can blackball them?
Oh my God.
Miriam, you know me. You know who I am.
Do I?
25 years you've known me. We're friends.
Yeah, she always said they were never friends.
Yeah.
You're fine. got what I needed out of you.
Wish I could say the same.
Wow. This is like a masterpiece of an episode.
Yeah.
This man has a roster of some of the best comics that I dropped 5 years ago. Face it, you are the Jim Belushi of managers who couldn't even sign Jim Belushi.
Have you had fun trying to avoid saying my name all night? Hope none of you had the breaded shrimp. They've been in the freezer since the last time Jerry Lewis was funny. She saw a nervous breakdown and turned it into a career. I don't know if I ever really thanked you for that, Susie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Next time I'm back in town, we'll meet on neutral turf, anywhere you want. Anywhere but a synagogue. The Jews have suffered enough. And I hope to see you soon.
Yeah.
You gotta turn off the camera.
That's funny. Yeah. That was good.
Yeah.
Oh, and no one gets out without pitching in at least $100 to the Jackie Della Pietra Foundation.
At least.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think I want to walk home, Dennis.
Nice night for a man.
Yeah. Nice night.
Yeah.
Part of me was worried she was going to drop the number, like toss it, you know, the way she was carrying it there.
This was the best episode of the season so far.
Yeah, this was
amazing. So everything we lamented at the beginning of the episode, it's weird how we do that sometimes. We talk about how what we want to see and what we
right.
yeah. And this episode gave us all of it.
Yep. It was such a great way to frame a complete expository dump.
Well, with this being, you know, one of 4 episodes left,
right?
It's kind of interesting that this is coming here and not in a later episode, which I'm glad it is, because I think most of this season we spent the time going, "What happened?" You know,
right?
Which is not a bad thing. I'm just saying, like it's really dragging it out, which I enjoyed.
Yeah.
The fallout of this, I'm assuming we go back to the 60s.
Yeah, we completely avoided it. Really, we saw Susie a little bit.
This was not a 60s
but this was not. No. Yeah, it wasn't. The only 60s stuff was little brief flashbacks that just involved Susie. We didn't get any of Midge's story from the 60s.
But yeah,
but we wrapped up so many like hanging storylines. So like, what happens with George? How did these two fall out?
This could have been so like obviously like they had to rush things right because this is like the last season. This could have been a train wreck. It could have been a disaster.
Yeah,
how they wrapped up the storyline.
This was done great. A Friars Club roast.
Yeah,
the Friars Club that Susie always wanted to be a part of.
Yeah,
from the first season,
we got a great wrap up with Harry.
Yeah,
which that was one of the most touching
beautiful
things.
Yeah,
ever on the show.
And a final send off probably for Jackie.
Yeah, I'm a little conflicted on how I feel about Susie, right? Because
she did some underhanded things.
Pretty awful,
for
things.
sure.
Disgusting. You know, Joel. They've always had this contentious relationship, but at the same time, he helps her. He helped her.
No, he did
in a big way. And we don't know the circumstances really of how he went to prison. I mean, I think we're assuming that it's
money laundering. He was a front man. He's a business.
Did somebody rat him out? You think?
I mean, it could have been any number of things.
Sure.
There was, somebody said, I can't remember who said it, but someone was like, Susie might have had her hand in that too. I don't think she did. I think Susie was genuinely shocked that Joel was in any kind of trouble.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was a mob biz front that just eventually got caught.
It's also telling that, Joel didn't say anything to Midge about it for 20 years.
Yeah.
It was dead for 20 years.
Yeah. He took the brunt of it.
And also, she full on admitted in this episode that she's still in love with Joel, which we've talked about.
Yeah, but it was like,
that was in the
1970,
70s.
yeah.
So, like, still, after the 60s storyline, which I always assumed, like, the show would end with them together. But I didn't know that it was going to, like, go past the 60s. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. I didn't either.
So, the fact that, like, the show's kind of winking at that a little bit in the 70s, being like, oh, I'm still in love with Joel. But obviously, we know that she's had several marriages.
Right, yeah. She's gotten married and engaged.
Yeah.
Plenty of times since then. So, I don't know. We may not do much more with present day.
What else are you going to do?
Right.
Maybe reunion, I guess?
Yeah, Joel getting out of prison, possibly, and what happens after that.
They said he's out.
Well, I mean...
just seeing that.
Yeah, maybe they get back together then. And what obviously the resolution of the phone call and Susie seeing Midge again for the first time in, was it like 6 years? Like 85 was the fallout, and 90...
It was 90, so 5 years.
Yeah, so 5 years of them not really talking to each other, not being friends. What that resolution is. But I wouldn't be surprised if we don't.
Yeah.
You know, those storylines can kind of just be kind of up in the air. I feel like for the last 3 episodes, we're going to focus on 1960 Midge's rear and break.
Yeah, we might get a little bit a sprinkling of the 90s.
Sure.
Whatever. Also, it's still dark that he goes to prison, but like for a second there, we weren't sure how long he was in prison. I was like,
Yeah.
is
Was
it
his
the
life?
60s?
Yeah. Yeah, it was like, does Joe go kill those guys and spend the rest of his life in prison?
Yeah,
You know, but
I'm glad that it's a brief.
Yeah, he goes to prison for 5 years, or less maybe, because he's out by 90, gets arrested in 85.
Yeah.
So
still sucks, but like,
no, it still sucks.
At least it's not like, yeah, Joel's a murderer.
Yeah, no, he's a racketeer. He's a money launderer for the mob.
Yeah,
and so he probably did 4 or 5 years.
I know we're not supposed to like them, but Frank and Nikki being kind of understanding with the whole situation.
No, yeah, they were. I mean, obviously they're a huge problem. They're the reason Joel's in prison in the first place. But
the fact that they're so understanding is interesting.
They were really great in this episode. They were.
Every time you see like a mobster in something, like they're like just ignorant or like really aggressive. These guys are just awesome.
No, that was a moment of real understanding and humanity they showed there. You know,
every time we see them, for the most part, you know, except for the trash episode.
The trash episode was when he.
But even then, you're kind of like, I get why they're mad.
Yeah, no, Midge double crossed them. She straight up double crossed them. So of course they lost their temper, and they did own Midge.
Do you have? I gained a lot of empathy for Midge in this episode as well, because I feel like we've been kind of down on Midge this season and just kind of irritated with her choices. I don't know. By the end of it, I was kind of just like, I feel bad for her.
I haven't really been down on Midge this season, except for that trash episode where she had her little tantrum. And I don't think there's anyone that can really defend.
I guess really it was that episode. It's kind of hangs so large over the rest of the season.
Sure. But no, I haven't really been down on Midge other than that, and that made me mad. Like I was mad too. I was straight irritated.
Like I said, that just kind of sticks out in my mind. So
sure,
it's not the season.
It was probably her worst moment in the 5 seasons on the show.
A lot of folks agree with us.
And she's had some other moments where like, come on, Midge, man, you're better than this.
This was the peak
but that was like, and you know, everyone's human. We're following this woman's life for decades.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes. So I mean, you pull your hair out, and then
we were all judged for.
yeah, exactly. This was probably her worst moment, at least when she's trying to get her career going. Yeah. So I can understand her having a bit of a meltdown. It doesn't excuse it, and it didn't make it any less irritating or frustrating to watch.
Sure.
But no, I haven't been down on Midge, but yeah, the empathy's definitely there. She's just someone who doesn't really figure out what she wants very well.
That's been the through line for the whole show
from the beginning, right?
And even I think that 70s scene is so important, though. I
do
feel like
too.
That's the real beginning of the end, in a way. I mean, it's just like Susie. That's when the wall goes up. I feel like, right? Because even Susie's like, "Hey, I'm your friend, but we gotta talk about boundaries here. This is your situation."
Yeah, but it didn't mean anything. The boundaries weren't there. She made all the phone calls. She did it all.
I know, but but we got that shot of her in Hawaii. The first shot, she's loving it. She's enjoying it. At the end of that scene, she's just, I hate Hawaii.
Yeah, but I feel like we've seen that scene a lot of times.
You think so?
I feel like that's a bigger one, but I feel like we've seen a lot of scenes where Midge is being unreasonable and Susie's got to come in and clean up the mess.
I think it's been more subtle. It's been way more subtle.
It's been more subtle, but I feel like that's a microcosm of what their whole relationship is.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Midge has her moment, and then Susie's got to kind of come in and clean up Midge's moment.
I guess I just really want to see this reunion. Then I want to see them have a conversation after all these years and really talk about their careers, because it seems like Midge now is in, like, she's in her Deborah Wingers and Hacks phase of her career right now.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Or not Deborah Winger. What's her name?
Deborah Vance.
Deborah Vance.
Yeah.
Deborah Winger.
I was like, Deborah Winger. Yeah.
But still, it's so interesting that we kind of bypassed the career. Like,
I don't think we are. I think that's what the last 3 episodes are about.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, maybe not like 70s, 80s, 90s, but I think we at least get to Midge gets a big break in the show.
Yeah, well, beginning and end is what we're saying, you know?
Yeah, well, yeah, for sure.
I kind of like that.
No, I do too. I think it's great. Right now, you know, we maybe have kind of left all of the how did we get there, but we've really kind of seen the end.
A Rashomon-esque he said, she said recounting of it was the perfect way to do that.
Yeah.
I love how they structured that.
This was fantastically done, because you had so many stories that were wrong, were like clearly like, yeah, this is not what happened, man.
Yeah.
But I really like that how they framed that in just terms of a bunch of comedians sitting around reminiscing. And, it's a night to celebrate Susie. So all these guys, it was clear it was like after Susie's gone, after the roast is over, and half a dozen of the comedians and bookers sit around and talk about it, which was a great way to do it.
Midway through the season, or a little past midway, I guess, but still, because that's kind of meta in its own way, because everyone's talking about the show, like how does this happen?
Right,
It's all speculation, and then you have people talking about it on the show.
Yeah.
I love that. I honestly think that I know season 5 maybe doesn't have the best rep as far as the show goes, but I certainly think this season's going to be a standout season of what we've seen. This is like one of my favorite seasons so far.
Me too. I've had absolutely zero issues with this season, and we've also had a lot of people say that they really love season 5.
I'm really glad that we have seasons 1 through 3, but I think 4 and 5 are so different and unique in the best way.
Right.
Some of our best episodes have come from these last 2 seasons.
But I understand why they
100%,
because it kind of really jumped away from what they were doing. Both 4 did and 5 did in completely different ways. This is a completely different show structure for the last season. So I don't fault anybody that said that this last season really wasn't for me.
Sure.
Because 1 through 3 is a different show than what 4 was and what 5 was.
Yeah.
Completely different show. But I really feel like narratively it really works. I really feel like we're really getting into these characters. And this episode was an utter standout for kind of getting to know these people a little bit better. These characters we thought we've known all along. This episode was really like
do you though?
A flash show on here's what you didn't know about these people and who these people are.
It's kind of stripping away the romanticism behind it all.
A lot of it, yeah. In a way, I really feel like we've seen the best of Joel in this episode.
Just can't believe how he is the best character on the show. He's the best, man.
When you look back at season 1, episode 1, when Joel was absolutely the heel of the show, and how much he's turned that around.
But even after the first season, he was just like a good guy for the most part.
Absolutely,
his story arc has been one of the most compelling.
It really has. And I don't know if we're going to see it, but like I said, I really hope we get a nice resolution for Joel in his later years.
I think he deserves it.
After 1990, after he gets out of jail, I'm really hoping that something works out well for Joel. I don't think it's going to be tragic for him.
No,
because if it did, I don't think Midge would have been willing to forgive Susie.
Okay, well, do you think that at this point they end up together?
Possible. I don't know. She was the one person hanging with him while he was locked up.
Never deserted him.
I mean, never deserted him. He wwent to prison 100% to protect her. It's very possible.
Quite the journey they go on then. This 30-year
break. In their marriage.
Yeah.
I think it'd be very romantic if that's what they do, but I understand them not as well.
I want to see that. I mean,
right.
But
we'll see.
I'll take whatever the show gives me.
Exactly. All right, we'll catch you in the next one, guys.
See ya.